This is
You think so?
This is fantasy football, so literally anybody with a team is a contender.
What do you think is more likely to happen? Someone notable wins this, or it's just going to be a random?
Oh, 100% a random person.
I don't know, dude.
Everybody notable.
I feel like I have a
pretty leagues.
I think I have a pretty good shot.
Yeah, you're not notable though.
I think people who are notable have a good shot of winning their league, but the bash is going to be a shit show.
The bash is going to be a shit show. All right, so we had the art reveal for our BDGE 3 passes, which reveal what league you get into in the Big Dog Bash, as well as your draft pick. So it's been fucking crazy here in the HQ the last 48 hours or so with the reveal of rare leagues and just getting people organized into the Discord and then into their actual sleeper leagues. But as we're organizing it, we're seeing different things take fold. And this was like our plan the whole time. There was a lot of, while we just wanted to make a cool fantasy league, there were so many underlying like secondary market dynamics to it that would always make this thing super fucking fun. And we're starting to see them play out now. And we're putting together, we tried to get a bunch of higher profile people and like influencers into the bash, but we also know that a lot of the community is, watching this and being a part of it. So people that have been in our content are also in the bash, like my sister, for instance. So people came over from TikTok. They really wanted to be in my sister's league, which is really fucking hilarious, but you're playing fantasy against Kelly. And then there's like Steve, who's been on YEL, and there's Stevie One Chain. So if you watch our E-Town Get Down, like there's so many different fun dynamics to it. So some people might get really excited about being in a league with Kyle Yates or Dr. Jesse Morse or JJ Zachariason, but so other people might want to be in a league with fucking Kelly Moore. So it's it's been really, really fun, and we're starting to see stacks of people, of like influencers and creators, get in leagues together, and just different aspects of the BDG community like facing off of against each other.
I didn't even know Steve was in it. What league is it?
What league you end up in?
That's a great fucking question.
Now that you say it out loud,
we sent him one, right?
Who's that? Sorry,
Sir, we're recording.
I'm working on the bash.
Don't do that right now. We're fucking recording.
Yeah, I know. Okay, what's the deal?
Steve Davaraja.
He's got one. He was sent the first day.
Okay, we don't know.
We haven't looked at his league, I guess. No, so we don't know where.
So we don't know where he is.
Yeah,
he for sure got a rare.
I would lose my shit if he got into my league. Let's start with leagues that we find interesting.
Okay, let's go over the rare leagues.
Okay.
I really didn't end up with anybody I know in mine.
Yeah, I've never heard of a single person.
Yeah,
Have you been talking to the people in your league?
I have been. They seem cool, but I don't know them. There's no prior knowledge of them. So
I mean, that's good for you. Like you're the top dog in your league. You don't want to be getting overshadowed by one of these influencers. Like you don't want Pete Overzet in your league.
Yeah, I'm
in there influencer 101.
I'm like 5th or 6th coolest person in my league.
I was just trying to brush over my league because it's me and then nobody else. I'm on the top alone.
So yeah, in my league, I got Davis Maddock. I have Adam Wexler, who's the CEO of PRIZEPICKS, who was like our closest partner for the year, which is pretty fucking cool. Yeah. And then we had the kid who had Christopher World, who had the 101 in league number 1. So each of us got into rare league except for Sexy, but 5 of the BDG team members were placed into rare leagues. And if you get into that league, you're playing against us, but you're also playing for a bigger prize during the regular season. And those are more valuable, obviously. So the dude who had the 101 in my league, I have the 104, put his up for sale or negotiated behind the scenes sale to this guy, Aaron in CDA, for 0.65 ETH, which is over 1,000 USD. I think it's like 1,075 USD.
A little over $1,000.
So he gave him his common league plus that money for the 101 in my league. And it just starts to set up like the baseline for, because the way I'm looking at it is like the 101 in my league is probably like the rarest right now. I think it's interesting though, because in a lot of collections, like NFT collections, you probably have, the rarest one set as soon as reveal happens. Like you kind of know what it is. But things will change with ours.
There's usually 101s with like, there's like 10 101s that like are completely originals. Whereas, you'll be able to see like ranks 1 through 10. Whereas ours, like you're saying, it could change based on the teams. It could change,
as soon as the draft happens, as soon as the clock goes off, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's almost like when you look at ADPs after week 1 of fantasy. You're like, ADPs don't matter because everything just changed after week 1. It's kind of like this. But that was, in my eyes, bird's eye view, the rarest one. The guy sells it for 0.65, and then he's like, anyone selling a rare league NFT, he's trying to get a different one. He ends up buying one for 0.5. So he basically switched from my league to Tony's league, massive L.
Big upgrade.
And paid 0.15 to get into it. And now he's trying to flip it. He put it right back on the marketplace.
Made 0.15 in the process.
And join another league.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He did it for 0.15. Oh, okay. He made 0.15 moving back to Tony's league.
Yeah, he basically got in. He basically swapped Nick's league for Tony's league for free and some profit. It was a good trade.
And got in an extra league.
I think he should have probably not bought Tony's league, but I think overall, I mean, he made money. He's still in a rare league.
It's a rare league.
It's a win-win in that situation.
Based on this behavior, do you think he's an NFT person? Because it feels like he just got the itch of what you degens were doing for about a year. You're like, oh, fuck, I just made profit. Let me do it again. Let me do it again. But I don't think it's going to work.
Seems more like a dynasty guy. His trading habits.
I think it was a good trade for him, and I think the listing of my league, because it was like so much higher, has to just be like, I'm not trying to move it, but if someone's willing to like pay up for whatever reason, like I'll get rid of it. You know, like everyone's got a price type thing. But
he did it immediately, which tells me that was like his plan from the get-go.
Well, that's like, you know, you always... while the market's hot, you strike. So, like, if someone's going to be like seeing like rare league sales coming in, maybe he thinks like, okay, yeah, there maybe be a couple more looking for rare leagues, and they're going to come in and buy. So that's why you got to be listed. You can't sell if you ain't listed, dog.
Scott just says he just jumped in the Discord for the first time in May. He's like, oh, the 101 sold. And someone's like, yeah, whatever. He's like, oh, was it Jan who bought it? Yeah, okay. So let's keep going down the league. Yeah, so I have Aaron who just bought the 101. I have Adam from PRIZEPICKS, Davis Maddox. We have some bigger names. Animal, what's your league looking like? Anyone good?
Yours is pretty nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know everybody. I know we got Mr. Corey Bush. Is it Bushland? Bush is what people. Corey Bush. So that feels like a porn name. I don't like saying that.
He's a porn star.
Wait, why? Is his last name Bush or
like
Bush?
His last name is Bushland.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone calls him Bush.
Okay. I thought I'd seen Bushland somewhere, but then I was like, are you just making that last part of the name
up? No. Yeah, so he's in my league. That's pretty good. Other than that, it's just a bunch of peasants that I'm gonna rock their worlds in, and they don't even know what's coming. I think, that's it. No one I actually like know personally.
I think something else I wanted to bring up as it goes back to selling the NFT in my league. And I think this is one of the more interesting parts of NFTs. And it was one of the reasons I got really fixated on, I own 2 VFriends. And it was one of the reasons I bought into that project is because I believe in Gary so strongly as an operator that if his project starts to tank at any point, he has, I'm sure, millions in reserve funds. Yeah. It'll be like, I don't want VFriends to go down the tank. I'm going to use that $5 million I have. Every single person that owns a VFriend Series 1 is going to get, I don't know, this fucking Harley Davidson bike or some dumb shit like that.
He can just make up utility as he goes.
Right. And that's why I'm like sitting here with my league. There's 11 dudes in my league. I could do whatever I want. Like you could do whatever you want with your league and you guys can make it as valuable as you want. So it's up to the people who want to buy in or don't want to buy in. It's like, fuck, I want to be in Animals League because I think he'll make the best content out of it. He'll have the most fun engaging with the people in his league. And like for me, I might actually just throw an ETH into out of my pocket and just be like, fuck it. Like I want to make my league the rarest league. That's going to make the demand to get into that league. I think
Tony said like, yo, I'm going to try and match Nick, whatever he does.
I agree.
Yeah, I definitely did not. Definitely did not.
I told my league that Tony's next paycheck is going to my league fucking pot.
Says, you know what? I'll triple all them guys.
Yeah. So that's what, this is what makes this shit so fun. It's more than a fantasy league. It's got so many different cool dynamics to it.
One Chain's league. Anybody have note in there?
One Chain's
Rudman.
league 4.
Yeah, Mr. Nick Rudman.
Nicky Rudman from Underdog.
Probably the strongest guy in the Discord.
Physically.
Yeah, well, of course. I always acknowledge, freak athletes.
Physical guy.
Yeah, strong men. It's good to acknowledge their strength.
I would love One Chains and Rudman to hang out. I think they'd be like an absolutely electric pair of people together.
Completely like different
personalities.
I don't know about personalities, maybe. I feel like Rudman...
Different energy.
Definitely different energy.
I mean, One Chains has a different energy than everybody.
Yeah.
There's no one that has energy quite like him.
That.
Yeah.
There's not actually that many influencers who made the top 5 leagues as I originally thought.
Dave did make it into...
Mr. Dave.
Dave Kluge?
Kluge.
Made it to Noah's.
Kluge, I saw Noah wrote a comment in his league. He's like, "Oh, we're about to get Kluge'd, huh?" I think Noah's talked some shit to Dave on Twitter.
I think I've seen that.
He has, right?
Against some like running back arguments or something.
Probably.
Yeah,
something.
Definitely something fantasy.
I love
related.
that. Also, I guess going on to the rest of the leagues, there's a couple of not even dark horse leagues for maybe just like craziest league of the year, but League 31 is where I want to start. You know, if you're familiar
That's where
with,
I want to finish too.
if you're familiar with the brand, Mr. Yannick. We've said the name a lot.
If you're in a single BDG Dynasty League, you're playing against Cali Dog.
You know who he is, Cali Dog, Yannick. We've talked about him. He's always in the streams buying pizza. He's a wild man. He's in League 31.
Feel bad for anybody that has to be in his league.
So there's Jan, there's Jordan Rains from IDP Army, who's been very vocal about supporting this project, but he's also like a pretty vocal person on Twitter, and he's self-proclaimed
in the NFT world too.
Yeah, self-proclaimed like Nick Ercolano hater. Apparently, he said in one of the Twitter Spaces, which I love. I think we're cool now. We got EJ from the NYC Draft Weekend. We got Anna from TikTok over here making our fucking merch. What's your favorite dynamic? If you had to pick two people that will be the favorite dynamic in this league, who would it be?
Well, you're forgetting the influencer in the league.
Who's that?
The chicken tendy god himself, Jack Settleman's in League 31 too.
Jackson 31?
Yes.
Are you sure about that? That's positive,
Yes,
right?
that is positive. That's what made this league even all more crazy. Is Jack is surrounded by a bunch of people we know through the brand.
Incredible. I didn't know he was in that league. Okay, my favorite dynamic just changed.
Right. It's the dynamic is Jack with everybody else. I think that's really what it is, because it's...
Well, I can't wait for the next time Jack comes into our office and his first thing is going to be like, who the fuck is that Yannick guy?
Yeah, who's Cali Dog, bro?
His first...
That guy's crazy.
His first comment is going to be that, yeah. I was looking forward to Jordan and Yannick butting heads really.
Yeah, they're either going to become best pals or worse enemies. It's going to be like Step Brothers.
Hey. I'm Brennan. I'm Dale. You have to call me Dragon.
You have to call me Nighthawk.
Maybe they start off like, banging heads, and then they're just running through the league, destroying everybody.
I think they're too different.
Yeah?
I don't think it'll work.
I was thinking that might be Yannick and EJ, because EJ was pretty vocal in the NYC league.
They
Yannick's
talk some
always
shit to
vocal.
each other.
Yeah.
EJ's a menace for sure.
Is anyone worried for Anna?
Oh, 100%.
100% worried.
She's going to hate fantasy football if she's never played before.
She can handle herself.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I think. Look, I've been in a league with Cali Dog for a few years, and or a few years now, and it's taken its toll on me. And I'm a big, strong, probably the strongest guy you've ever seen. So,
I lasted 1 year in one league with Cali Dog, and I was like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah,
SpongeBob
wait till you're
meme,
getting messages at 4 a.m. pickled.
Oh, yeah, you'll get those all the time.
It's going to be interesting. All right, what other leagues are...
Well, speaking of Jack's little brother, Casey Settleman, is in League 14.
Okay.
Which is also my sister's league.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we have the brother-sister connection.
Who else is in there, too? Mr.
Walter Picks.
Mr. Walter Picks, yes.
Sam Factor. Yeah, Walter Picks.
You know who else is in there that not a lot of people know? Schmurda-Gleck. Oh, let's go. Schmurda-Gleck. If you know who Schmurda-Gleck is, you are deep into the BDG realm. About a year ago, that was perceived to be my burner
It was a
account.
big controversy.
It was a big controversy at the time.
I remember coming into New York and there was it was already being discussed. And I was trying to figure out what was going on. You had to tell me, and I was a little sketched out.
You told us you didn't have any. You left your friends in the fucking dirt, Tony. We know you came over here without any family, without any relatives, all murdered in a fire. You came to us. We welcomed him with open arms. We did. Therefore, the person in the Dynasty League is him.
Big Dog's got it. Always second chances.
You're on Team Burner.
There's no teams. It just is a burner, and that's it.
I was super convinced with his story. I believe it's his friend. I know people like that.
What do you mean you know people like that?
Yeah, I know people like that.
Yeah,
I have friends.
You know Tony. That's why you know people like that. It's his burner, it's him.
Yeah.
I'm still 50-50 if that's your burner.
Sure. But yeah. In my first BDG Dynasty League, I invited one of my friends, and people thought it was just me on a second account having two teams in this Dynasty League.
Well, weren't you guys trading with each other?
Right. So I obviously had his phone number, so we would talk trade, but he wouldn't respond to anybody else. So people are like, yo, this is super sus. And I'm like, no, he's a real person. I don't know. You guys are just sending him bad trade offers or whatever.
The only thing he did was make his picks, so it was pretty obvious it was just you.
And he never responded to anything in the sleeper league too. Everyone's like, we don't even see his little sleeper logo type ever. He doesn't read any of the messages. But yeah, Schmurda-Gleck.
Goat.
What a guy. League 14 definitely stacked.
14.
How's Kelly gonna hold up?
Fantasy wise?
Yeah, she's
she's not.
Does she ever watch you?
No.
You think she will?
I don't think
My
so.
videos, no shot.
Maybe
no shot.
pick up a draft. You can send her the draft guide.
Maybe after the Bash draft. If that happens. I don't know, because she's a pretty competitive person, so I think she's gonna want to do well in this league. I'm not sure how far effort actually goes at this point. It's 4 days away from draft day. She's going to get angry during the season, and she's going to get angry at me. She's going to be texting me like all week. What do I do? She's going to text me during the draft and expect me to do her draft. Yeah, exactly.
Who do I pick?
And she's going to get mad at me. Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. No
Sexy Pets, did you go over your league yet?
I haven't gone over my league. I'm in League 13.
Special?
Oh, very special to me. I got good in it.
So
15-year-old God.
That's our bot guy.
He knows Discord better than anybody.
He said he's really bad at fantasy.
Yeah, he's terrible at fantasy.
It's good.
Perfect.
According to him, so.
I don't know anybody else, but it seems pretty active so far. Everybody's talking in chat and shit.
That's good. All right. What others? Big leagues
League
are there?
15.
That's it. That's
League
the one.
15. So the first person that got into League 15 that I saw was Cody Karp from Player Profile, Underworld over there. He's one of my favorite guys in the industry. I love Cody. And he's, I was telling you guys, I follow him on Instagram. He's like, he's into that like fucking weightlifting. He's
a bro.
He's a bro. He's a fucking bro to the core. Like 17 steaks on Sundays kind of shit. And the first thing that Pete Overzet's in that league. Brett Coleman's in that league. Pete gets in there and he's like, yeah, I'm taking protein powder shots with Cody Karp right now. So we've got some big name influencers in that league. And that should be like an actual competitive one.
I'm jealous I'm not in that league.
I'm excited for those leagues. Like those fucking
100%.
ones where like the influencers landed in there with each other. Because like we were talking about this before, when do they really actually play like fantasy against each other? It's all just like everyone makes their content, but they're not in leagues together. So it's really interesting now to see guys like, big names going at it.
I think it's definitely the most influencer-heavy league.
A lot of 15.
The biggest influencer names.
And when it comes like fantasy and like actual football and
They
stuff.
got a big three for sure.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting league. I'm wondering like how seriously those guys actually take it. Because, when we first started the project, I reached out and like, you guys want to be a part of it. Some of them were in the promo video, obviously. And then time kind of passes by, and then it's just like me reaching out like, hey, you got to do this. Hey, you got to do this. Hey, it's probably like at a point they're like, Nick, shut the fuck up and like get out of my DMs. And now we got a fantasy league, but just like any of us, they're all in like 30 fantasy leagues, So it gets to a point where like, do they take it seriously? Do they care about it throughout? Because listen, like I've been in the Scott Fish Bowl for years on it. Now you have been for a few years as well. And it's like, you can put me in a league with people that are exciting, but I think by like week 6, I don't know how much I really care, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it also depends how my team's doing, obviously. But like, also, the big thing with that is it's on a different platform. So like, hopefully with this, you have a lot of people already on Sleeper app using the Sleeper platform, familiar with it, and it's literally just in their tabs of leagues. They're just going to go set their lineup, and it's an extra 10 minutes out of their day that they have, at night when you're, after your shower.
And having prizes ain't going to hurt either. You know what I mean? Like if you're just playing for real fucking money, like you want to check them out.
Reputations are on the line.
That too.
You come in last place in the league with, against a bunch of schmoes,
No one's a schmo.
peasants.
This is going to kind of suck for me drafting. I don't think I'm going to get any of my guys because I just imagine it's a bunch of people that just watch my shit all the time.
You're gonna have to reach a lot. What pick are you?
4. I feel like that's always the case with you. Like
Yeah,
every
true,
league
but I guess I've never really cared about fantasy leagues before. This one I want to do well in, But the guy at 101 already said he's taking JT. I have Adam Wexler's at 103.
At that point, you take a quarterback or C-Mac.
Well, he's in – I don't know what he's going to do. I think he goes running back probably because he's in the football industry, obviously. Like, he's running PrizePicks, but, like, that's also probably working against him. He's running fucking PrizePicks right now, so I doubt he has time to, like, know who to take at 103 in a super flex league. He probably doesn't even – half those dudes probably don't even know it's a super flex league, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes C-Mac. Like, it's probably going to go JT, Josh Allen. Actually, this could work out well for me. JT, Josh Allen, C-Mac. I would –
Herbert.
this is why I can't talk about it on fucking camera.
You want to take Justin Herbert?
Nah. I want to take
Pat Mahomes.
Debo for sure.
Evo.
A little
Great
early.
pick.
Probably a
Well,
reach.
I'm not going to get him on the way back.
Some would say it's a reach.
I'm excited for this draft.
Yeah.
I'm really fucking excited.
I have the one. Oh, sorry, I keep cutting you off. I have the 102.
I could go, sorry, I keep cutting you off. I have the one.
He said go. He said go.
Yeah.
I have the 102. You have the 102
I also
Are you straight up like hoping Jonathan Taylor falls to you, or do you care?
At this point, I think I'm going quarterback with the 102. It's not a strategy that I love, but it does feel good getting your one quarterback out of the way. And then I feel like I can just punt the position. I don't have to think about it until like Marcus Mariota comes rolling up on the board because
That's really what you're going to do.
That's not what I would. Marcus Mariota's the guy you're hoping you
like
pick
if I compare him with Justin Herbert, that's what I'm saying. If I get a top-notch elite quarterback like Herbert, I really don't care who my second guy is. I'll pair Herbert with Zach Wilson. I'll throw fucking Justin Fields, Jameis Winston in the mix. I don't care.
Yeah.
I
hear
also
you.
I feel dirty just listening.
I don't
to
like
you.
that though. I'd rather get my like JT
I think just get like a 5th or
C-Mac.
6th round quarterback, and even at that point, you'll get like a
You
Jameis
can
Winston or
I
something.
take a quarterback in the second round, then take your second one in the 6th or something like that. Like I'm going for like Dak or Russ in the second round. Like, if I can get Jonathan Taylor 102, or maybe even C-Mac, or maybe even Derrick Henry, like
You'd go Derrick Henry 102.
I would. I want a running back first round. I don't want a quarterback.
See, I like the quarterback at 2. I just don't. I feel like it gives you the luxury of having that middle juicy round stack of like round 2, 3, 4, 5 of not having to go.
The tier gap between like the RBs in first round and the RBs in round 2 is like too big for me to want to.
I don't
Really?
really.
I think
it's me too. I think the wide receiver gap's bigger.
Well, I'm talking about versus the quarterbacks. Like if I'm going to take like a Justin Herbert versus taking like a Jonathan Taylor, you know what I mean? Like I'd rather have I'd rather have Jonathan Taylor and like Derek Carr than Justin Herbert and like fucking Leonard Fournette.
I'm interested to see how far, because I would argue against that, but I almost feel like ADP's been pushed up. Like the dudes who are in this are following fantasy right now,
Yes.
pretty fucking heavily. So it's like if you're in a more casual league, like you still might be able to get like Kamara or Saquon or like one of those guys at like the 208 or 209.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll happen in this league though.
You don't think so? I think with all the quarterbacks going, like there could be 8 to 10 quarterbacks taken before that, and that'll push those guys down.
Right, but then I think it's like 10. I feel like it'll be a very non-wide receiver heavy draft. Like I think
I agree.
you'll be able to get like Diggs on the way back or something like that.
So I've been monitoring the mocks. Like I've been posting them forever now, so I know like basically every first round is your standard. The 5 quarterbacks go off the board. The 3 JT, CMC,
Henry.
Henry usually goes late,
And then
first, early
is it
second.
Kupp
But then
and Jefferson
Kupp
next?
and Jefferson are always in the first round, always.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe a few outliers here and there, but Kupp and Jefferson are always going in the first round. After like it basically goes like Allen, Herbert, Mahomes, like Jonathan Taylor, and CMC in the first 5. Every time.
Yeah, that's
Well, we
definitely
have-
And then it goes
better.
like Kupp, Jefferson, and then you start getting like the running backs Mixon comes,
I think you guys would hate this, but I have the 109, and I really want Justin Jefferson with my first round pick.
I can't get myself to draft a receiver in the first round.
Yeah, I know you don't, but I don't know. I'm just so high on Jefferson this year. I think
If Cook's still on the board, you taking Jefferson over Cook?
100%. I got
Jefferson.
Jefferson.
It's a 3 wide receiver league, so I don't really blame you.
Yeah, Jefferson. I would probably take 103 if it wasn't Superflex.
It's just hard at doing these mock drafts though. Like the one on the one that you live streamed the other day, like last weekend. I feel like this happens all the time where you can just take 3 wide receivers in those middle rounds, kind of where the dead zone running back is, and it always looks good. Like I can never get through a mock draft taking a receiver early and at the end of it being like, oh yeah, I feel good about this.
I agree with that, except I think this year there's more of a tier gap between the Kupp and the Jefferson and maybe the Chase. Like once you get out of the Kupp and Jefferson tier, there's just such a big gap. And then the running backs this year are a little bit deeper than usual. Like I think you can get like the Aaron Jones, the Javonte Williams, the Zeke, like those guys who are going to sometimes fall into the 3rd round.
I agree. That's why I feel like back end of 2 running backs have as much upside as most of the first round.
Yeah,
running backs.
I agree.
Outside of like
that.
the 2 huge ones, but I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the year, like Kamara, Barkley, Aaron Jones finished where Austin Eckler is.
I think
I could
the
see that.
problem is though with those running backs is like after you get past Zeke, it feels like the running backs fall off a cliff while the wide receivers just kind of like slowly decrease in value. And I'm not going to be left with no wide receiver, like at the very worst, I'll, pair up. Maybe I have to reach a little bit on a guy like Amon-Ra or Rashad Bateman or even like other receivers going in that
Do
range.
you want those guys as your wide receiver 1 in a 3 wide receiver league?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind it if I can like stack them together, It like obviously if that's my 1 and then my 2 3s are like a tier below them. But I've done a lot of mock drafts where it's like I'm with those middle picks of like the 5, 6, 7, I'm able to stack all of them. So it's not like I have a standout wide receiver 1, but I don't feel like my wide receiver group is weak. It's just like it feels like I just stacked a bunch of wide receiver 2s.
Yeah, I mean that could easily be the case. There's so many guys at wide receiver like Bateman, Moore, Amon-Ra that have the potential to just have massive years.
You know what I've
Those are all
really
the guys
liked?
I'm looking for.
I've really liked like taking one good running back and then just it's so opposite of what I've always done, but kind of punting the RB2 spot until like later. I like stacking like 5 awesome wide
Hyper-fragile.
receivers. Sure.
hero running back.
Hero running back, hyper fragile, fucking
Whatever.
Uno running. Yeah,
Change
I
the
don't give
name
a
of
fuck
it
what
every
is.
fucking year.
Yeah, it's so stupid. I hate those fucking names. But I've loved my teams when I do like 1 quarterback early, 1 running back early, and then it's just like it's like Stephon Diggs, Michael Pittman, Mike Williams, Elijah Moore, Rashad Bateman, and I'm like, damn, that's a fucking starting lineup right there.
Yeah,
You know?
I think though with that, especially for the bash, since it's 20 rounds, you need to make sure you grab a lot of those backup running backs in rounds like 10 through 15.
That too. It'll be interesting because it's 20 roster spots, no kickers or defense. So you got to start asking yourself, like, come bash time, there's no waiver wire moves.
Yeah.
So you say, like, how many quarterbacks do I leave? I almost feel like you got to go at least 3 QBs, at least 3 tight ends, and then you're splitting up 14 roster spots between running backs and wide receivers. I think the natural split would be probably 8 wide receivers, 6 running backs because you start more wide receivers. But, like, gives you a lot of flexibility to just, like, I don't know, dude. It's going to be fucking
Usually
ridiculous.
the waiver wire, when a running back goes down, the backup will be available and you can pick him up. But this league, that's not going to happen.
No.
Someone else is going to already have him. You're going to have to pick up the third string back when that
The
happens.
curse and the blessing of the big Rasta.
Yeah.
The big Rasta. We pulled the ADP up. I honestly feel like this weighs in too many mock drafts that were too early because you still have guys like Saquon at pick 29. That's like at the 3-5.
Very low.
Aaron Jones at the 31. Trey Lance down at 32.
You got to look at the quarterbacks, how high they are going.
Yeah.
Like the first and second round, it's probably like 14 quarterbacks.
Well, this has they have the most recent 25 drafts. So it's Allen, Herbert, Taylor, Mahomes, McCaffrey, Lamar, J. Jeff, Kyler, Cup, Burrow, Eckler.
Wait,
Hurts.
where's
Those
is
are
that the end of the
12.
first?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have in that first round right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quarterbacks. Yep. We have 3 running backs and 2 wide receivers. So by the time you get to pick end of the second round, it still has Kamara at the 3-1, Aaron Jones at the 3-2, Javonte Williams at like the 3-5, 3-6.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's my RB2, dog.
To get that as your RB2, like you could
That's
get.
my point of taking that running back in the first round.
That's why you could still take a receiver.
But no, I'm not taking a receiver to like the fourth.
That
round.
goes against your point, though.
Yeah, I feel like because you're at the 2, you have the option to take a top-notch quarterback and still end up with a Kamara, a
those running backs.
Saquon.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, how big is the gap between?
Not that big, I don't think.
It's not that big if you
Russ
like
Wilson
those guys.
and no, I'm talking about between like a Russ Wilson.
But if you're at
and
the
Dak
102?
Prescott versus a Justin Herbert and a,
Probably huge.
is it?
I think so, yeah.
I actually think I think the gaps are actually pretty similar. You're saying like Justin Herbert compared to Dak, and then also
And then, like,
JT
Jonathan Taylor compared
to Javonte Williams.
let's
Like
look
it
it up.
might actually
Javonte
be.
Williams is a different case because he's a huge breakout candidate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. But after like Javonte Williams and like Zeke and maybe 2 other guys in that like a 2-3 turn, all the running backs die after that. Like it falls off a cliff.
I agree, but
Akers
I mean,
is the last one I'd even want, and I know you guys wouldn't even want.
And exactly. Even like Akers, as much as like you may like him, I'm still like so like if Akers was my RB2, I'd be upset. I would like him as an RB3. Like I don't want Akers as my RB2. I don't think he's.
I just don't think I'm
RB2.
going running back heavy early. Just the way my draft.
Not heavy,
played
just
out.
the first round. If you're in the first 5 picks, I think. Where's Derrick Henry going? Blasphemy.
I already shut the.
I'm against like
probably
the
second
2-4.
round.
I think he'll be like mid second round, early
I'll
mid
never get
second
him
round.
if I don't take him.
You should probably take
If you
him.
take him with the 102,
I will if Jonathan Taylor's taken.
I hope we can set it up like. I hope we can
Dude,
put a tool together like the Average Scott Fish where it shows like specific players and like the earliest and latest they've gone and just show how early Animal took Derrick Henry.
I mean, do we forget like how amazing of a season he was putting together last year before he got hurt? Like,
Yeah, it was incredible. Their team sucks right now.
They're terrible
I
for
feel like the
sure.
team's gonna fall off so much.
I feel like the line's still the same line for the most part, and like nothing really changes other than he's got to be healthy now.
There's just nothing in Tennessee that I'm like excited about.
Yeah, but they're like the new Patriots now, where they don't have anything flashy, but they're still always a good team, and they just like
Still
seem
a
to, like,
dynasty, yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
they just seem to. No, you know what I mean. Like the
Coming off
Patriots,
Super
other than
Bowl.
Tom Brady, who do they have? Like they had the year with Randy Moss. Obviously,
Other than Tom Brady, who's the Tom Brady on the Titans?
don't be that fucking guy. Derrick Henry is the Tom Brady of the Titans. All right. What I'm trying to say is like they're just a team that they don't have any big flashy. Like you expect them. They're just good. They're a good team every year.
He's one of those dudes that I just get fucking whiskey click on. I cannot go through on Derrick Henry when I'm like on the draft board.
Yeah, no,
I
you're a
think that
coward.
too.
Coward.
I don't know if I'm a coward. I think I'm just my brain is too big to fall for that fucking trap.
I mean, didn't he finish as like the RB13? Like stopped halfway through the year.
Yeah, I
Something
don't want the
stupid like that.
RB13 in the first round.
Yeah, imagine he
Want the
played the
RB13
rest of the
at
game.
102?
He was the RB1 in points per game.
Well, I'm not surprised.
There you
Then
go.
take him at 2, Animal.
I will if Jonathan Taylor.
If
is,
Jonathan Taylor goes off the board 1, you're gonna take him at 2. Do you get Derrick Henry? Yeah, that's what
Oh
I
my
fucking
God.
thought.
I will.
All right, we're gonna chop this up. If you don't,
I will. I'll do it.
we're gonna chop this up and then chop you up.
As long as there's no bad reports coming out of camp.
Can we talk about other leagues that we like? We got League 9 over here. with fan favorite Snacks.
Oh, Mickey Snacks. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be a league that a lot of people want to get into. Also, Scott, the old editor, he's in that league, so that one should be pretty good. Scott,
Do they know they're in a league together?
I don't think
Probably
so.
not.
Snacks answered.
Snacks has not even joined the sleeper yet.
Yeah, I don't think Snacks knows this is going on right now, but
It's also Josh Larkey in that league.
I was just going to say Larky's in that league.
I think Scott got pretty lucky with both of his leagues because his other one that he's in, League 12, he's in with Mike Me Up. There's also, who was the other one?
Verzi?
Podfather.
Oh, and Podfather,
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, so he's got a few well-known people in both of his leagues.
Yeah, League 12 is looking good. That's going to be a sharp
Where's
league.
what's the league with? I hope this wasn't it.
Which
with
one?
Mike and Scott.
That was
That's
12.
League
We were
12.
just talking
Fuck,
about
I
it.
just said I hope this wasn't it.
Turn
Yeah.
your fucking brain on.
Shit. Snacks is in that league too.
No,
he's
Snacks
in
is in
9. He's
9.
in 9. Oh, so that's where you guys didn't.
We said that.
Yeah, we
This
talked
is
about
so
it.
fucking sick. This is so fun. I can't wait to not do it next year.
Um,
All right, you guys ready to pull the rug?
is that it? Probably it, right? There's nothing else caught the eye. Dr. Jesse Morse, maybe. What league's he in?
I'm excited that he's so excited
Is he
about
at
it.
32?
Yeah, I was
32.
pumped when he came on stage.
Yeah, he didn't give
He
a
did.
fuck. He was like, I was like, are you in the middle of surgery right now?
I don't think he's got anybody of good recognition.
Pat
with him.
Mayo.
No. Pat Mayo, what league's he in?
32 with.
Oh, he's
with-
just not in the
Dr.
he's
Morse.
not in the
Yeah.
sleeper yet.
Oh, with Dr. Morse?
Yeah.
Pat Mayo and Dr. Morse in the same league? That's cool.
I got to start sending these guys their league invites, or they're never gonna fucking get in.
They're going to be auto-drafted.
I think Pat Mayo said he's actually not going to be there for the draft. I think he said he's got someone drafting for him.
That's good.
I think Josh Norris said that too.
Oh, what league's he in?
He's in like 47.
Sick. Leagues, I'm running out of people. I'm just going through the leagues trying to find names.
Still really want to know who league Steve is in.
Same. Like, he's in Brazil right now.
Oh, he doesn't care.
Started his
bastard.
top flight security of the world job.
Wow.
I have a weird feeling he might be in League One. I really do.
Oh, dude, I think I got shit.
See you, animal. And don't come back.
All right. Well, clearly we're excited about the fucking bash. The drafts are this Sunday nights at 6 p.m. So come next weekend, we'll do a recap episode of how draft day went, what our teams are looking like, how we're feeling. Animal went. You went to go take a shit?
Yeah,
Blue
it's
just
been
stood
gone for
up.
forever.
Yeah, he just stood up in the middle of the episode. I gotta shit, and we felt like that was probably the time to cut the cord on this thing. So if you want to join the bash, if you want to be part of BDG3, you will have to buy through secondary OpenSea. We will link the official link down below. Don't be fucking scammed and spammed out here. Tony will take care of you. If you have any questions, Tony@bdge.co.
I will hit you back with more questions to answer your question.
Correct. We love you. Bye.